We'd like to welcome you to the grand opening of House of Pure Event. Outstanding. My name is Mark S. Lee, and I have a radio show on CBS Detroit's WXYT. It's called Small Talk with Mark S. Lee. We focus on entrepreneurship and small business development. I also write a blog for Crane's Detroit Business as well, focus on small business development. I am very pleased to be here this morning to be a part of this very, very special occasion. What I'd like to do before we get into the program is recognize we have quite a few people here. So, one, I want to recognize all of you. Please give yourselves a round of applause for coming out this morning. I would also like to recognize any clients from DE&A, Public Relations. Please raise your hands as well. All right. All right. All right. To the hardest working guy, David Rudolph, thank you very much. As we get started, I just want to say very briefly, this is truly a special occasion. Detroit is certainly open for business. As we all know, the great city of Detroit has home to over 32,000 minority-owned businesses, according to the U.S. Census data, which makes us the fourth largest city in the country. And we're adding one more this morning. And now downtown has a swank retail wine shop featuring made in Michigan wines right here on Wilbert Avenue. And 3 Detroit native daughters hearing the call to come home, helping to make a difference in Detroit's comeback by opening a new signature retail wine shop offering Napa Valley experience, the Napa Valley experience here in Detroit. And did you know that Detroit, or in the state of Michigan, is the 4th leading wine producing state in the country with 117 commercial wineries? That's huge. So, without further ado, again, we're going to jump right into the program with some special acknowledgments. This cannot be made possible without a team. So I'd like to welcome up our first speaker this morning for acknowledgments, Ali Dagger, Esquire. And he's the owner of the Fairlane Title and Company, the law offices of Dagger, Goodman, and Dagger. Ali, would you please join us?
Thank you. It's always a danger when you give a lawyer a microphone, but in this case, I'm going to be very short. I am so proud of what's going on here today. Mayor, you're the man. Congratulations for doing what you did for the wonderful 3 women that are doing this. I'm so proud of Terry, Andrea, and Regina. I've known Regina for over 18 years now, and we've gone through a lot, but this is the epitome of what you can do. When you take a dream, you put a lot of sweat into it, and you make it happen, and you get help. And that's exactly what we need to do in this city. I'm very proud of you, and I'm very proud of our mayor, Mayor Mike Duggan. Thank you, Mayor.
Let's make sure we do give a round of applause to Regina Gaines, Dr. Andrea Dunbar, and Terry Mullins, please, the partners in this fine establishment. We know that access to capital is always important for any business, of course. And I'd like to welcome up Derek Edwards. He is the Vice President of Invest Detroit. He has over 20 years in commercial banking and underwriting, and currently is working on the Urban Retail Loan Fund. Derek?
Thank you. Good morning, and congratulations to all of you for being here on such a monumental day in the history of Detroit. So about 9 months, I had 3 very educated, very well-dressed, well-spoken ladies walk into my office and start to talk to me about funding for a small business in downtown. I immediately bought into the business plan, and we worked together to help to make this day come about. And so I'm proud to stand here before you saying that I played a small part in making this happen with these ladies. They do a wonderful job. They came into my office as prepared as you could ever imagine 3 first-time entrepreneurs could be. They had their plan together, they had their pitch together, and they delivered it magnificently. So, ladies, Andrea, Terry, Regina, congratulations. So as Mark said, this day can't happen without collaboration and partnerships. And so I just want to take a couple really quick seconds to acknowledge a few of the partners that I had the pleasure of working with. And I know I'm going to leave some out because there were tons of people who were really involved, but these definitely have to be mentioned. Detroit Development Fund. Detroit Economic Growth Corp. Techtown, Hatch Detroit, and Bedrock. Thank you for your support, your participation, your collaboration in this effort. We should all be very, very proud of today, and I'm sure many, many years from now, we'll look back on how this all started as it grows to become bigger. Thank you.
Right before I came here this morning, I was in a meeting at this place called Techtown. And we all heard of Techtown, a great incubator program supporting entrepreneurs and small businesses across the great city of Detroit. Without further ado, I'd like to welcome Ned Stabler, who is the CEO of Techtown Detroit.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. I'm going to bring my wine glass up here because we're in a wine shop. I want to start by echoing the sentiment. Yes, exactly. We needed one of those. I want to start by echoing the sentiment that, Mr. Mayor, thank you very much. You are indeed the man. Keep up the great work that you're doing. But today we're here to celebrate 3 of Detroit's female entrepreneurs who are doing amazing work as well. I know some of you are wondering, why is an organization like named Techtown standing in a wine shop? To sell, and supporting a wine shop. And the answer is because though we do great tech programming at Techtown as well, we'll work with 175 businesses this year that are not technology-based at all through our SWAT City program, our Blocks program, and the program that worked with these, Regina and Andrea and Terry, the Retail Boot Camp program, which in the last 3 years has helped 50 entrepreneurs get up and going. Now over 15 of them as of today are now actually open, which is a pretty good rate. We think another 3 or 4 are going to be up in the next few months from this class that just graduated a couple of weeks ago. So not all of them have been as model students and have learned as well as the 3 folks that are here today. But we have lots of great programs to support them, everything from rental subsidies to design services, social media and PR firms, et cetera, and things like that. So Techtown isn't just about tech, it's about supporting great entrepreneurs regardless of what type of industry they're in, because we know in Detroit the most important thing we can do is create jobs and create opportunity and amenities for all of Detroit's residents. So congratulations to all 3 of you. I am very excited to shop here as well as to help celebrate your success in the coming years. So congrats.
As we continue down, the building has to certainly be designed, and without that design, we wouldn't have a beautiful place to come to this morning. Christian Uzergalt, he is the design director of M1 DTW and is the architect of House of Pure Vin. Christian?
Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Mark. This is a great day. This small shop is a big deal. It's a big deal for my company and my employees, just as it's a big deal for these 3 ladies that we had the pleasure of meeting just a year ago. I have to thank a few people on our team. Justin Mass, who part of Techtown, was able to connect the firm with Andrea and Terry and Regina. Danielle, who was a part of our team, who as a recent graduate from architecture school, rather than leaving the state and heading to New York, was able to work on this project and really show what we can do here in Detroit. Tom Affelt, who was a member of the team, went away and returned to the state, and I think in terms of the efforts to we don't really talk about brain drain so much anymore. I think we were losing people for a long time. Now, not only are they staying, we're attracting people. And I think to do that and to do it with a strong sense of design and innovation, I think is something we need to continue to do. I also have to thank all the MIG, who were great contractors on the project. They helped bring this vision to life. And I just want to say, for me, this is really great. We've been in Detroit for 15 years, and to design a shop on Woodward, as small as it is, it's a big deal. Thank you.
Bedrock. Enough said on that one, huh? Bedrock. I was fortunate enough, and I just had the opportunity of talking to Lisa Danstock on my show, and she talked about Dan Gilbert's vision here in the Lower Woodward area. And one of the parts of this vision is to certainly fill up these office buildings down here. And she was very adamant about that. And certainly a major part of that is because of Bedrock. And I'd like to welcome up our next speaker, Brian Waldron. And Brian is a property consultant for Bedrock Real Estate Services.
Good afternoon. It's good to see everybody's faces out here. I'm glad you can make it. Anybody that didn't make it, tell them they missed something special today. Bedrock is absolutely thrilled and very happy to have worked with so many different groups. This all started in the beginning when the three ladies, Andrea, Terry, and Regina, showed up at Bedrock, and they had a great idea that just simply needed some honing. But at the end of the day, it was all about the passion behind their idea. And, there's a lot of words that can express what they've done and what they've gone through and how many different people have stepped up and helped. So I'll just say that it's a communal effort. This was a communal effort. So many different teams have provided support, their absolute expertise, that it made it very easy for Bedrock to see something special. And at that point, we were all in, and we wanted to support this group as best as we could. As you all know, and everybody that's here knows, what we're doing and what we're undertaking at this point in time in Detroit in general is something special. And this is just another continuance, another extension of what's happening down here in Detroit. And we need to be able to, really rejoice and understand that we're at a time that is probably like no other in this city. And we need to espouse that and let people know. So, that being said, we're absolutely thrilled to have worked with TechTown, Invest Detroit, Ray Waters, and everybody that's involved. And this is special. And let's just keep the momentum. We're going to keep building Woodward as well as all of our other properties. And we're going to keep the momentum. So thank you for being here, and thank you for joining us.
One other statistic you may or may not know, did you know that Wayne County is the second largest county in the country when it comes to women-owned businesses? Give yourselves a round of applause. All right, Councilwoman, the President, Brenda Jones is here in the house, and she has a special presentation on behalf of City Council and the City of Detroit. Council President Brenda Jones.
First of all, good afternoon to everyone. And we start off by saying, and hello to my mayor, we start off by saying jobs and opportunities, and that always sounds great. But I also say relaxation behind jobs and opportunities, and what better place to be than right here to be able to say you can come in and get your relaxation and go home. So I have a Spirit of Detroit Award that I would like to present on behalf of the City of Detroit. And it is a Spirit of Detroit that reads, it's presented herewith as an expression of the gratitude and the esteem of the citizens of Detroit to House of Pure Vin, Regina Gaines, Andrea Dunbar, and Terry Mullins, in recognition of exceptional achievement, outstanding leadership, and dedication to improving the quality of life by the City Council of Detroit. Detroit City Council and the Office of Council President Brenda Jones are proud of your accomplishments, and we sincerely thank you for bringing House of Pure Vin to downtown Detroit. Excellence has no substitutes, and we give a toast to you on being a part of the rebirth of Detroit. Congratulations, your sincere efforts deserves this success. We wish you all of the best for the future right here in downtown Detroit, signed by all council members.
She's fine.
Is it possible to have you slide over just a little bit so we can get from over this stand right here, please, if you don't mind? No, I've known Montez all my life, so she holds.
Thank you, Madam President. We appreciate that. Regina Gaines is the owner and one of the partners in House of Pure Vin. I'm going to ask you to come back up and make a few comments. Please, Regina Gaines.
Good afternoon, well, still good morning. Thank you, Mayor Duggan, for coming. Thank you, everybody else, for participating. One of the great things about having great people and working with experts speaking in front of you, you don't necessarily have to be so long-winded because they said everything that you possibly could ever say. I wanted just to tell you that this whole journey that we've been on has been very fulfilling for us. This has been a situation where we have possibly every entity from public to private to institutions come together and help fund an endeavor. And as many people talk about, what the narrative of what Detroit used to be about, how we can't sit down and sit at the table and get deals done. Well, as you can see, this is the furthest thing from the truth. 3 women, 2 of us are single moms, come together with a great idea, and we have some great men that got behind us. So I want to personally thank how I started my morning. I started my morning with A, so thank you, Ollie. Then I went to B, Brian. Then I checked off C, so I had to talk to Christian and Chase. And then I get to D, that was Derek. And then I had to go ahead and check E for Emerson. And then when things got a little rough, I called Jill Ford. So, and then, just kept going on. We had backup plans if it was Denise or if it was Aaron. One of the things that I know in life, you can't get nowhere by yourself. And as I can say that we had a whole lot of people to help us get us where we need to go today. And if it wasn't for them, I don't know how things would be. And as Derek challenged me, he said, well, Regina, everybody's looking at you now. And, people's paying attention for what you have done. So I'm going to reverse this statement back to the group of people that helped us. We're going to ask you guys not to make us the prototype, but let us be the case study and find ways to make the journey for the next people easier. And that it doesn't take a year or 9 months to get funding, but it takes a little bit of shorter time because it's very important, as Detroit was the mecca for African American and women, entrepreneurs, and this was always the place for opportunity. It shouldn't be narrowed, it should be expanded. So thank you guys for coming. We appreciate everything that you have done for us. And now we're ready to make some money and pay back these bills. And if anybody else that I left out, I'm sorry, I apologize, but please know that our heart. And for our new family distributors, I'm glad that you showed up. We're ready to trade them in for you guys now, so I'm glad you made it. Thank you.
I have 2 more fun facts. 75,000 minority-owned businesses across the entire state of Michigan. 75,000 of which almost half of those are here in the city of Detroit. And the final stat, over 250,000 small businesses, women-owned businesses in the state of Michigan, making us the 9th largest in the country, the 9th largest. I want you to take those 3 or 4 tidbits we gave you this morning and think about that. This is why this program, this opening today is important. And it couldn't be made possible without a mayor certainly who's focused on bringing this city back, focused on entrepreneurship, focused on small business development. And that mayor is, Mayor Mike Duggan's going to come up and make a few comments. Mr. Mayor, please come on up.
Isn't this a great day in Detroit? Thank you. So I have a little different perspective. I remember walking down this block in 2006. I was a member of the Super Bowl host committee, which was, the game was played a few blocks away, and Roger Penske chaired the committee. And he was horrified that much of this stretch of Woodward was vacant storefronts. And he said, what are people from around the country going to say when they come in and see the main street of Detroit as a bunch of empty storefronts? So you know what he did? He painted in these windows to make it look like they were businesses inside. He had to lock the doors to make sure nobody saw. But he said, we'll know Detroit makes it back when we don't have to paint businesses on the windows that aren't really there. And if you look at what has happened since, we know Detroit's not going to come back with auto plants coming in at 5,000 and 10,000 jobs. Detroit's going to come back when people like Terry and Andrea and Regina decide that this is a place they want to start a business. And Regina didn't tell you her story, but she traveled the world pursuing her dream, at least the country. She went down to Atlanta, she went to Houston, she went to New York, she went to LA. She had this drive inside her to do something special. And when she settled in with her two partners to pursue their dream, we are so pleased that she chose to come back home to the city of Detroit.